Srishti, meaning my creation. These two creations are confused, and because of this confusion, we have all the sorrow and bondage. We have created our own bondage where Ishvara has no role whatsoever. Vidyaranya Mahaswamigal is a famous Acharya who re-established Vedantic ideas on the basis of experience and scientific reasoning. He introduces the subject as per the traditional method in the first shloka. So, Vishaya and Prayojanam are discussed. In shloka 1, we discuss the creation of Ishvara and Jiva. Understanding both the creations, we will critically analyze them. We are not clear what bandhana is. We will understand bondage and then how that bondage is renounced. The misunderstanding that I suffer because of worldly attachments will go away with discrimination. Acharya, with 8 shlokas directly from the Upanishads, introduces what the Upanishads say about Ishvara-srishti and Jiva Srishti. These two Srishtis will be analyzed, and the conclusion will be that only by Jiva Srishti will you have problems. Ishvara-srishti is as is, and you cannot change that. We have two types of worldly experiences. One is objective world or creation, and the other is the individual world or individual creation. What we see outside as the 5 elements and its manifestation is the objective creation. The outside creation is not dependent on you or your actions. What is created by me is the individual world. This is subjective creation because it is subjective to me. Object means that it is always completely separate from you. This object is created by Ishvara. We can only use it. It cannot enter into your mind. Next is subjective creation. This is your creation since that is created by you, it is within you. When you build a house, you keep the house constantly in your mind. You think that you created it. You connect with the house, but connection is also not related to the house. The whole relationship and the whole house are in your mind. It is mind's creation, and so that is individual. Individual world creation is completely subjective. Object is outside, and you cannot do anything with that. Subject is inside, and the inside creation is by you. The happiness that you enjoy is situated inside your mind. So, happiness is your creation. When I say I think, it is subjective creation. When I want to walk, I can walk. When I want to stop, I can stop. It is within me and it is my creation. The attachment and detachment to that are in our hands. The limitation is that Ishvara says, I will do what I want with my creation. You cannot change your destiny, but you are confused with all this. The subjective world, the individual world is created by us, and we have freedom as far as that is concerned. The second point is that whatever Ishvara-srishti is realistic. It means space is created, and from space, air is created, and from air, fire is created, and from fire, water is created, and from water, earth is created, from earth, vegetation is created, and so on. In this sequence, this creation is realistic. It cannot be changed. It is realistic because the Panchabhuta is realistic creation, because that is the objective creation. Creation of Jiva, individual, is subjective. Subjective creation is non-real. It is idealistic creation because of your mind. Because of your ideology, creation is there. When you change your understanding, the creation changes. We have Ishvara-srishti as realistic creation and Jiva Srishti as idealistic creation. For further clarification, the objective realistic creation of God is called metaphysical creation. Metaphysical creation is realistic because it is objective. The Jiva creation is psychological creation because you react to the object. The mental reaction is the creation as we call it. When we see a flower, we say that it is very good. So it is psychological. The whole creation of the individual is called psychological creation or mano-vibra-vidam. When the mind becomes no mind, then there is no creation. The mental creation can be changed by changing your reaction, meaning that you are responding to that. Often, our preconditions like society, family, system, and religion do not allow us to change because your subconscious is fed with all these conditions. The preconditioning is the mode of creation of the individual. It can be said clearly as psychological creation and Jiva creation. Objective creation, which is realistic, is Ishvara's creation. By Vedanta study, you are trying to change the psychological creation. By self realization, you change only psychological creation, nothing else. The world of bondage is within you as you are the creator of bondage. So, renounce the world of bondage created by you. You cannot renounce the objective world. Whoever studies Panchadashi completely with contemplation and proper analysis will enjoy Vedantic knowledge. That is the depth of Panchadashi. In no other text do we see the terminology of Ishvara creation and Jiva creation. In Shloka 2, the first Upanishad taken by Acharya is Shvedashvedara Upanishad, which is one of the Upanishads of Krishna Yajurveda. The Shloka says, know the Maya as Prakriti or know Prakriti as Maya. Prakriti means nature, the ultimate material cause, according to Sankhya philosophy. Sankhya says it as Prakriti, and that is Maya for us. Maheshwara, supreme consciousness, is Mai, the creator. Maya, as the creative power of Brahman, and the creator Mai, who has that creative power, is called Maheshwara. Mayavi Ishvara, Maheshwara, creates this world. Ishvara-srishti is introduced here directly from the Veda. Maya is Ishvara-srishti. Jiva has Avidya instead of Maya. Swamiji concluded with this introduction of Ishvara-srishti and Jiva Srishti and said that we can solve all the problems with this understanding. Now let us listen to Pujya Swamiji. Hari Om.
Srutismritipurananalayam karunalayam namami bhagavatpadam shankaram lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krito Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Shri Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Namaste Shankarananda Gurupadambu Janmane Savilasa Mahamohak Rahagrasaika Karmane Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Om Namo Narayanaya. The fourth chapter of Pancadashi, Dvaita Viveka Prakaranam. The subject discussed in this chapter is Dvaita Viveka, discrimination of duality, differentiation of separation of duality. So there, Ishvara-srishti and Jiva Srishti. Now with this concept, Vidyaranya Swamiji is going to discuss the whole dual creation of this world. So in the beginning of the chapter, after introducing this, he took up all the stories of creation adumbrated in Upanishads. In Upanishad, we see many different theories, different stories regarding creation and destruction and all those. So the first famous one was from Shveta-Shvetara Upanishad. There the Maya and the Mayavi. So the Maya as Prakriti, the creative power of Brahman attributed to it, and the Ishvara, the God, Supreme Consciousness itself is Mayavi, the creator. So he creates this world. So here one important point of Vedanta is again brought up. That is the difference between Maya and Avidya. Here you can see the Maya, what we call it as Prakriti, is with Ishvara only. Maya is Ishvara's creative power. But Avidya is the creative power of Jiva. So you can see the difference. It is very interesting. So you are also a creator, but you are creating with your avidya, ignorance. If somebody creates something with his ignorance, what would be the effect, the result? Can it be something worthy of discussion? If you create something with ignorance, purely ignorance, based on ignorance, it is worthless. So that is what you have done. Because that is the point going to be discussed here, which is an interesting point in Vedanta. Clearly separates this both. Now you can claim that I have Maya. It means the individual Jiva cannot claim I have Maya. So there is no Maya in Jiva. In some places, in some point of discussion in Vedanta, they say Maya and Avidya is one and the same. In many of the books, you can find this. But that is a bit confusing when we discuss the methodology of Vedanta in regard with creation. So when we say about creation, as we have seen in last class, the objective world. So the objective world is purely a creation of Ishvara by Ishvara's own creative power called Maya. So we have no connection with the Maya. We have no control over Maya. It's beyond us, beyond this individuality or jivatva. And what we create, we call it as idealistic or psychological creation, mental creation. It's actually, as I said, it is reaction, mental reaction towards the objective creation. That is what we call is our own creation. So we have so many emotions. What are our creations? Altogether, when we take all these creations, our own creation, we can find only emotions and emotions. And with those emotions, we live the life, the whole life, we are troubling with these emotions, the mental reactions towards the objects. You just contemplate on this. Can you find something without object? If without object, if something is there, some experience is there, that would not be your experience or your creation. For example, so when you go to sleep, deep sleep, there you have some experience. But the deep sleep is not your creation. Though it is experienced by you, but it cannot be considered as your mental creation, mental reaction. Why? Because it is beyond you, beyond your control. Up to this deep, up to the dream state, we can say the Jagrat, the waking state, and the dream state. The creations are there. So we make all this mess with these two kinds of creations. So that is with our mind. So we can say it is our creation. But beyond that, it's not your creation because the mind is off there. So therefore we call it Jiva Srishti as psychological creation, idealistic creation. And any idealistic creation you see, the fantastic creation, that will be based on realistic creation, the objective creation. Now you have to remember all these words. Therefore, I am repeating all these technical words because for this chapter we need the proper words to communicate. So now what the world seen outside and experienced is too different. I think you got the point. Now the experienced world we have separated in two parts. One part is the creation of God, that is objective creation or realistic creation. For the sake of discussion, we call it realistic creation because comparatively it is realistic. And the other part is individual creation or psychological creation or emotional creation or mental creation. That is our creation. Now we have two creations. Now you just think, which creation is troubling you? Your creation, the individual creation is troubling you. Therefore, this creation is because of ignorance. Only an ignorant person can create such creation. if that person is realized, enlightened with Advaita Jnana, then he has no creation to react on, to act on or react on. So there is no sorrow, no disturbance, distraction, regression, nothing is beyond all that. So this is very simple. So if we can separate and correctly identify which are our creation, what we are creating, then you can easily control it or manage it. So once you could manage your own creation, is done. Then you are beyond this creation. So the problem what's happening with the earth is we are in full confusion. By birth, we are confused with the outside creation and the mental creation. We are unable to distinguish. So we think whatever is happening because of the objects outside. Whatever is happening within me because of outside objects. I am suffering because of other person. I am suffering because of other objects outside. I am suffering because I don't have this, I don't have that. This is what we think. But all that thinking process is completely false because this is based on ignorance. You are not suffering from outside objects. So you cannot suffer with an absence. If you don't have, how can you suffer? If you don't have money, so the absence of money is not going to give you suffering, no? Because absence cannot give anything. You understand me? Which absence give you something? Absence cannot give you anything, but in absence of something, if something occurs, then that is going to give you. So if you are worried about the absence of money or anything, that may give you suffering. So the suffering is given by the thought process, the reaction towards it. So the absence cannot give you. So in some like our in Bhagavatam or somewhere it is said, Anantam sukham apnoti yastu vidwan akinchana. He enjoys the infinite happiness who has nothing with him as his own. So Anandam Sukham Apnoti. He enjoys infinite happiness, experience infinite happiness. Yastu Vidwan Akinchana. He has nothing with him. So that is the idea here. So now we will continue with the Upanishad stories about this creation. So first the second shloka rendered that Ishvara-srishti. What is Ishvara-srishti? So Mayam tu Prakritim Vidyat, Mayinam tu Maheshwaram. The Maya is introduced. So in that place, now Ishvara become Atma. So some in many of the Upanishads, Atma and Paramatma or sometimes Akshara, Avyakta, all these words are synonymously used for Ishvara as Supreme Lord. Now the second Upanishad, Aitareya Upanishad. Aitareya Upanishad is part of Rigveda, Aitareya Shakha. This is a famous Upanishad. It says, Atma va idamagra abhotsaha ikshada srija iti sankalpena srijad lokan saedaniti bahrichaha. So the Upanishad says, Atma va idamagra abhut. Before creation, there was Atman only, Atma only. Atma alone was there. Atma va idamagra abhut. So only Atma was there, Sachidananda Atma. Now what happened? Saikshata. He produced a thought. Saikshata, he thought. It means he willed. Saikshata, what he willed? Let me create the world. So that was his will. Now you see, the same thing happened to us. We sit quietly and get up and think, I should do this, I should do that, let me do this, let me create that. So the thought process starts. So when thought process starts, the creation comes and you have reaction towards it. The reactions, mostly all these reactions with because of ignorance, end up with suffering or some bit of enjoyment. That's all. So who created this? Saikshata. Thoughts created this. Because Atma alone was there, and actually he could be like that. But somehow he came to existence, he felt something, and then he thought. So the thought made all this creation. You see how interestingly Upanishad says this. So if you don't think, there is no creation for you. The last class I mentioned this. When mind is there, the creation appears. The absence of mind, there is no creation as such. And then he created what he created? Sankalpena asrijad lokan. By his will, he created the world. Sankalpena asrijad lokan. Saedan bahurichaha. This is what the story of creation in Aitareya Upanishad. Bahuricha means Rigveda. So the Rigvedic Upanishad, Aitareya Upanishad, says this. Now, here you can see when at that point, the before creation, in that point of time, Atma alone was there, like in sleep or samadhi, in deep sleep. Only Atma is there. And then the thoughts appears when you wake up. So that thoughts give you all kinds of objects. It brings one after another. Experiences, what we call as experiences. So this is the problem with the thought, will. So sankalpena asrijad lokan saedanidi bahurijaha. And what are those creations? Kham vayu agnirjalo jalorvyoshanna veha kramadami. Sambhuda brahmanastasmad edasmad atmanokhilaha. So this is what Taittiriya Upanishad says. Kham vayu agni jala urvi oshadhi anna dehaha kramadami. In that sequence, in that cessation, all this happened, all this appeared. Kramad ami. What are they? Kham, space, akasha, vayu, air, agni, fire, jalam, water, urvi, earth, oshadi, this vegetables, vegetation, anna, food, then deha, body. So all this happened. Sambhuda brahmanahas tasmad edasmad atmano akhilaha. So this is the creation of God, because all this was created by God, Ishvara, the Maya, Sahita Ishvara, the Ishvara with Maya. Tasmad atmanaha akhilaha. So now you see, this body, what we see is deha, that is the gift of God, or it was created by the will of God. So this body is also a creation of God. Why you see, you can take one after another reverse. If you see reverse, Deha, Anna, Oshadi, Urvi, Jala, Agni, Vayu, Akasha. The first creation is Akasha, and the last creation here is mentioned as body. Now, if you see that way, that we can see that the Deha, the body, is the stuff of diet, the vegetable, what we eat. So therefore, Deha Anna. So Deha is from Anna, vegetables. And where the vegetable grow? Vegetables grow on earth. So Urvi. And the earth is from water. So therefore in body, we have some particles of earth, mostly the earth particle, and then condensed form of water. And the water is created, and the water is created from fire. So fire is also there in our body. After Panjikarana, the condensed form of fire. And then fire was created from Vayu, air, the friction, the movements, that is called Vayu, that is there in our body, air as prana. Then that air's movements or friction is in space. Without space, no movements. So air is moving, blowing, because the space is there. So this is how the creation happened. Now all these 5 elements are there in our body. We know it already. In the last chapters, we discussed this Panjikarana methodology of creation. So this is how it is created. So this is from Taittiriya Upanishad, 2nd chapter. Now again continue with the Taittiriya Upanishad. Bahusyamahamevadah prajayeyedi kamatah tapastaptva srijat sarvam jagadityaha. 'Tis 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 ' So then thereafter, God again thought, he thought about creating other things. Bahusyam ahameva ataha. Let be many, I shall be many. Because he was alone, he was getting bored with loneliness, and he wanted to be many, in many forms. So he created Bahusyam Ahameva Ataha Prajayeya, I shall create myself. So he meditated on that, Tapas Taptva. So his tapa here is as Sankalpa, his will. The creation, the will for creation. That is called tapa. So he created. And he, before creation, he meditated on that and then created. So tapas taptva asrijad sarvam jagat. So thus he created the whole world. Now here the tapa, tapas taptva. So tapa means there are two meanings. One meaning is, the famous meaning is penance. So tapa. So meditation, dhyanam is called tapa. And the other meaning in Sanskrit for tapa is heat. The heat manifested the world. We can say that. Tapas taptva create. He created the world. And after meditation, he created the world. So when we sit for meditation, our body get heated, and that is called tapa. So that heat is also mentioned here. So here we see there is a combination of worldly creation, objective creation, and God himself is thinking about that. So the objects are there in him. He is creating from himself. The creator is also he, and the material for creation is also from him. So this you can see here. And we are also doing the same thing. First, we think about something, some object, some creation, then we act on that. So after collecting all the material, we create what we think. So this is also mentioned here. So if you don't think, if we stop thinking, so then there is no creation, because the thoughts are connected to the creation objects, and objects are there within you. So this is how the Supreme God at the beginning of creation he did. So what he did is reflected here now. So tabas taptva asrijat sarvam jagadityaha tittirihi. Tittiri is Taittiriya Shakha. Idamagre sadevasid bahutvayat tejo bannanda jadini sasarje dijasamagaha. Now, the Chandogya Upanishad of Samaveda, the third Veda, Samaveda, Rigveda, and then Yajurveda, and the third one, Samaveda. So we have one famous Upanishad from Samaveda, Chandogya Upanishad from Chandogya Shakha. So what the Upanishad says is idam agre sadeva asit. So agre means before creation, the same. Sad eva asit. Brahman was there as Sat, existence. So only Brahman existed before creation. The Sad eva asit. It means there was no object-subject relation. There was no Ishvara-srishti and Jiva Srishti. So only one reality as Brahman that was there. So Brahman or the self alone was there. Bahutva ayatatai that Brahman also did the same. He desired to become manifold. Bahutvaya tataishata. So his desires came, and then he created all things, including fire, water, food, and being born of eggs. Andajani. Andajani. Andaja means all this universe, Brahmandam, and as well as all other beings. So they are all from there. So Tejo Apanna Andajani Sasrajedi Samagaha. So this was the fifth Upanishad, third Upanishad. So first Shveda-shvetara, Atharvavediya Upanishad. Shveda-shvetara is actually Yajurvediya Upanishad. And Atma Idamagra is from Aitareya Upanishad. That is Rigvediya Upanishad. Then again Krishna Yajurvediya Upanishad, Taittiriya. Now Samaveda, the Sama Upanishad. So Tejo Abanna Andajani Sasrajedi Samagaha. Here the Upanishad resolved the contradiction of materialism and idealism. As I said in the fifth shloka, the materialism what we called as realistic creation, and idealism what we call as Jiva Srishti. So there is famous discussion about in world philosophy this materialistic thinking and idealistic thinking. So there are two branches of philosophy, materialism and idealism. So here you can see only one existence was there as Sat, pure existence. So from that existence, Tad Aikshata. The Aikshata means he thought, he desired, he willed. So that become, when thought process is there, we call it as idealism, because that is based on thought process, mental creation. And the existence, as we can call it as material, the matter in that form. So that material creation. So here both are connected. Both are from the same source. So Tejo Andajani Ajayata. So realism and idealism, or pragmatism, or philosophy, whatever people call it. So the difference between this realism and idealism is mentioned here. So how we separate it. And therewith the Chetanam and Jada. Now that is also another separation. Animate and inanimate, conscious and unconscious beings. So Chaitanyam and Jada. You see, at the beginning of creation, only Sat was there. Pure existence was there. There, this separation of Jada and Chetanam was not there. The animate being or inanimate being or conscious or unconscious, nothing was there. Only Sat, the existence was there. Pure existence. So that is what is called as Idam Agre Sadevasit. But from that, Bahutvaya Tadaikshata. So when that thought process started, we can say that existence become consciousness. The thought or thinking is an action by conscious being. So it become in action. So the thought process started. Then the object came, Tejo, Abanna, Andajani, all this water, food, fire, earth, everything came out from that. So in the beginning when we meditate, there is no separation as Chetanam and Jada. So that's both are the same as Atman, as Sat. Then the next Shruti from Atharvana Upanishad, Atharva Veda, Mundaka Upanishad. This is another famous Upanishad. Vispulinga yatha vahner jayante ksharatas vividhaschijjada bhava ityadharvanaki shrutihi. Vispulingaha yatha vahner jayante aksharatas vividhaschijjada bhava ityadharvanaha shrutihi. Tasmad aksharad vispulinga iva jayante. That's what this is. It's like Big Bang theory. So in Upanishads also we have this Big Bang theory. Here you can see some resemblance of Big Bang theory. It says, the Upanishad says that just as sparks of fire, the Vispulinga, sparks from fire, everything appeared, arose from that Brahman, Akshara, like jet forth. Everything just came out from that. At a sudden, everything happened. So, Vahner yatha vispulingaha jayante tatha vividhaha chidjadaha. Now you see chidjada, both came from there. Unconscious and conscious things both appeared, suddenly it came from there, like Big Bang. So unconscious things in the world are not really unconscious. That is the theory. That is the theory in Vedanta. Unconscious things are not really unconscious. So there is what we can call is consciousness is sleeping in that. So unmanifested, unappearing consciousness is there even in unconscious things. Because it's the conscious things and unconscious things are appearing from the same source. So here it is said in Pancadashi, this sloka, Vividhaha Chit Jadaha Bhavaha Itya Adarvaniki Shrutihi. So it is another story. This is all different stories of creation from Upanishad. So Acharyaji is introducing all those to just bring into your mind to just think about that. So how it came out. So then we will illustrate all this by discussing on these points. So vividhaha stijjadaha bhavaha ityadharvanigi shrutihi. So therefore in Vedanta only Atman, Sachidananda Atman is real. That is what we call as pure existence, consciousness, that is real. And in that reality, the conscious being and unconscious being are appearance with different upadhis. So different formation, different appearance. So the appearances are different, but the material cause is the same. Or we can say it is based on, everything is based on Atma. The substratum is Atma. So the unconscious things and the conscious things both are from the same matter. Therefore, what we can say is that it is not appearing because of some reason. That's all. So vividhaha chijjadaha bhavaha ityadharvaniki srutihi. Where mind is in action, or what yes, mind or intellect is formed, there the consciousness is called consciousness. The conscious being, they are conscious being. And where the mind is not there, like in wood and stone, in all other objects, there the mind is not formed. Therefore it is called unconscious being. That's the difference. So vispulingaha yatha vahner jayante aksharataha tatha, because whatever comes, whatever comes out from fire or sparks from fire, that will carry the character of fire. It cannot change its character. So if these things are appearing from Atma, the source, if the source is Atma, then they must carry the character, the nature of Atma with them. So this is the basic theory of cause and effect. So that is applied here. So here Jiva is identical with Atma, and the other objects is identical with Maya as material cause. And Maya is identical with Brahman as the creative power of Brahman. So this is how we make all this theory and connect with. So how Jada and Chetana is different, and how this Jada Chetana is from the same source, and why they are called Jada and Chetana. So this is how we separate this. Jagadavyakritham purvam asid vyakriyatadhuna drishyabhyam nama-rupabhyam viradadishu te spute. Now the another story is from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. There it is said, Tadhedam tarhya vyakritam asid. So this is the story from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, first chapter, fourth Brahmana. Srishti Adi Sarvarupada Brahman. So there it said, Jagat avyakritam purvam asit. It says, before creation, this world was avyakrita, in unmanifested form. Avyakrita means unmanifested form. And then after that, vyakriyata adhuna. Then it manifested in the form of world. So before this manifestation, it was unmanifested, and then it changed its form into manifestation. Or we can say Vyakriyata Adhuna. Now its expansion is there. So the unmanifested cause, Karana, expanded into the form of manifestation. Drishyabhyam Nama-Rupabhyam Viradadishu Tespute. So you can see in Virat, the universal gross body, gross body of universal gross body, or what we call it as Virat. So we have a universal subtle body, universal gross body. Yeah, that is Virat. So Virat have Nama and Rupa, Drishyabhyam, Nama-Rupa Abhyam. The name and form, we can see the names and forms in different levels. So that is what we see or what we cannot see. There the names and forms are there. These are called manifestation. Now what is the manifestation? Manifestation is nothing but name and form. So when we separate this, if you want to know what is the cause, the potential state of these names and form, we can see that that is Brahman, that is existence. So that existence is unmanifested. So manifestation is equal to name and form. Unmanifestation has no name, no form. Therefore, it is called simply unmanifested. That's all. So avyakritam. So that avyakritam is identical with Brahman. The same Brahman is called avyakritam here. So Brahman with all the qualities for creation. Rather, we call Brahman as qualified Brahman, because this avyakritam is qualified Brahman. So the Brahman with all the qualification, all the potencies for the creation, useful for the creation. So that is what Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says. Then it continues with these stories. We will see that after completing this story in the 10th sloka, then the discussion will start. The first Ishvara-srishti, first Acharya again will establish Ishvara-srishti and then bring the Jiva Srishti, because then you can clearly understand what is your creation. Now in this you see nowhere it is said the happiness is created by God. Nowhere is it said the suffering is created by God. Nowhere it is said the attachment is created by God. Nowhere it is said the krodha, angry, is created with by God. So these are not there. Now if you have all this, it means this is not God's creation, this is your creation. So you are responsible for that. If you pray to God, then what God thinks, God will laugh at you. I have not created all these things. Now you create all this, and then after your own creation, you try to manage it. Now if you are the creator, what could I do? So I cannot do anything with that. So if you want to remove the suffering or sorrow, you try for that, because that is your creation. I have not created it. So that is what God is going to say. And it's very interesting how here the bhakti concept is also very clear, how the Vedanta brings bhakti here, devotion. So that will be there after this. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. If anything you want to ask, you can ask any question or clarification.
Amaresh, you can unmute and ask.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Yes.
This bhakti, whether we can say it is Jiva Srishti?
That we will discuss later.
Okay.
Because no, after the discussion, you will be clear with that. Now we are going to discuss that.
Okay, Swamiji. Pranam.
Yeah.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Yes.
Swamiji, the Brahman, qualified Brahman you mentioned is Ishvara itself, correct?
Yeah, qualified Brahman means Ishvara.
Yeah. So the Avyakta, the Brahman.
Yeah. Ishvara has all the qualities, all the potentialities for the creation. Therefore, Ishvara is qualified Ishvara, qualified Brahman. And otherwise, we say pure Brahman, pure consciousness, pure existence. So it means there is no qualification. It's beyond all those. And the Ishvara is qualified with Sarvajñatvam, omniscience, omnipotent. All these qualities are there in Ishvara. Because Ishvara has Maya. Since Maya is there, Maya has all the qualities for creation. Therefore, Ishvara is qualified with Maya.
Swamiji, one more question. And the creation and sarjanam. That are two words, correct? The
yes,
creation,
sir,
because
two words but the same.
The meaning is the same, but the sarjanam means, by itself it is coming out, correct?
No, it doesn't mean like that. Srishti, when we say Srishti, creation, sarjana means the appearance of that same creation. Or we can say arrangements, arranging. The sarjanam is arranging. It's from the same root. It's from this root srija. So srija becomes sarjanam. It means creation only. There is no separate meaning for that. The Srishti is also creation. The from same root, Srija, Srijit create. And Sarjanam is also like from the same root. It means creation only, but we use that word for to arrange things properly in place. So that is called Sarjanam. And creation that's also a creation only. So what you are trying to say, maybe the appearing itself, no? Something is appearing itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the dream is appearing itself.
Correct. Because when we say creation, we can make it, someone else can also make it.
Yeah, let it be there. No problem. It's the creation means my creation or others' creation. The work is the same. The action is the same. So that is also creation. Only the creator is different. The creation is not different. The creator is different. So you are creating or somebody else is creating. Now, in a dream, what we see, everything appears itself, no, in dream. No creator is there. Huh?
Please mute.
But actually, even in dream, the creator is there. Without creator, nothing can be there without a creator. So creation, if creation is there, then creator is also there. Therefore, the dream is created by Atma, Jiva Atma. It's Atma's own creation. There he creates and play and enjoy whatever is there in his mind. Jiva Atma, the individual soul. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Swamiji.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions?
So
Yeah,
tomorrow
Hema
is Shivaratri.
Hema has got, yeah.
Achha, somebody is asking something? Okay, please
Hema.
come.
Swamiji, you said that before creation, only Sat, pure existence was there. And the Chit part of it was in the unmanifest form. I mean, I couldn't get the connection.
Before creation, when we say only Sat was there, the existence was there, it means that existence is Atma. So Atma is not only existence, but also the consciousness and bliss. Because when we call Atma, that three forms or the essential nature of Atma will come there. So existence, consciousness, and bliss. But why the Upanishad says Sadeva? Because the consciousness form of Atma is not manifested there. Because there is no experiencer, there is no manifestation. Now, how can you say the consciousness was there? So, therefore, this Upanishad only taking the existence part of Atma, because that is more clear. The conceptually we can understand that existence was there and then creation came. If the Upanishads say no, consciousness also was there, then the question comes, how consciousness was there and what how can we define the consciousness there? Because consciousness needs to be related to something, some knowledge form. So the knowledge form was not there. So the Upanishads wants us to clearly understand before creation nothing was there. Only existence was there. Because from non-existence, creation cannot come. Only from existence, creation can come. Therefore, the existence was there. Okay.
Thank you.
So, okay, Hari Om, thank you. So, tomorrow is Shivaratri, you all know. So, the day for Shiva, we celebrate Shivaratri. The tomorrow's Shivaratri is very special. I have posted one video on that. I think you all have seen that. So listen to that and follow whatever you can follow. And meditate on Shiva, the form of existence and consciousness and bliss, Atma, and be with that. So that is the vratam. So if you can take some vratam or some fasting or some meditation or something, whatever you could do or practice. Okay? Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Swamiji, will there be any live this thing, the Shiva Puja or something from that ashram?
Yeah, we will try to show something in the beginning. Maybe the first Yama Puja we will try to show online live. Okay.
That will be great.
Only the first one, because continuing with that for so long, 12 hours is too much. So we will show the starting point.
Thank you,
Hari
Swamiji.
Om. Thank you.
Hari Om.
Dhanyavada, Swamiji.
Hari Om. Dhanyavad.